So next we have Loyal, who's playing Amma. I think we got a nice blend of characters. We've had Amma, Neja, Bologna, and Thor. And then we're going to do Jorm next. So all different characters, which is nice. So this is Loyal. This is my thumbnail creator, the beast himself and the editor. So build, I think on Amma, one really cool thing on Amma right now is you can go round shield and 3 just regular pots just because your 1 sustains you so much and you have so much early pressure with your 2 damage. That I think you can do that, but it's not bad to go extra pots again because it's just safe. It's always an option. Do we know the ranks for these games? Not exactly unless they asked. Let's see what Loyal said for this one. Okay, he says, still sad I did not zone and team fight correctly, but be straight, no remorse. I did not focus targets and felt like I needed a peel. I don't know what's right or wrong. Plus rotations and decisions and farm efficiency. Okay. You guys lose this game? No. I've done it in the past, JT Money, but... Hit him once. Just get a stack of warriors. Get a stack of warriors, Loyal. Let's go. Your on her went straight to it. I would have cleared the wave. You're just going to lose blue buff at that point. One thing that you can do, I don't even think you got... Did you get credit for blue? Yeah, you did. Okay. One thing you can do is just not even hit the wave and just let it zone so that you can walk to your blue buff and get credit for it and not have to worry about minions dying. Because if you if you do damage to them and then they you have to walk away, you're gonna end up missing the minions because your minions are gonna kill them because they're poked already. I always get my 2 or my 1 at level 2 for the most part, but you have a lot of kill potential here, so I don't mind you getting your 2. Silence his whatever it may be that he uses. I think it was a drop kill. I think if you hit more autos and then like delayed your dash, could have killed him. Neither of you have gotten Totem yet, which is always weird. I always like to focus the Totem first. Nice, get a lot of poke here. He's gonna have his dash back up soon. Nice. Okay, you got it before his dash went through. Gotta be wary of that. You have kill potential. Oh, you need to pop your 2 first. If you waited and popped your 2 and then dash, you would have stacked it up and instantly used your 2 and it would have been really good. The thing with Amma, I think people don't realize, is that she has so much early pressure now because her 2 hits so hard. So just double pop your pots if you do that, if you're going for that. Or just auto trade them in your 1 and use your 2 on them as often as possible because it hits for... At rank 1, it hits for 140, which is just ridiculous. I don't know what it hits at rank 2, but it's probably something crazy as well. I pop my health pot here and then just keep trading with him. Once you get your 1, you're going to be able to heal a lot. Silence him. Oh, no. Oh, unfortunate. Mechanical thing, but that would have given you a lot of pressure if you silenced that and hit your 2. Now you're kind of in a weird spot. You need your 1 to sustain to maybe get back pressure. Yeah, a lot of your pressure is gone just because of that. Sometimes those small mechanical things can be the difference, so... Another misplay, he dashes through so you don't hit your 2 on him. Both blues are up. That was a lot of lost pressure just off... Wait a second, I'm pretty sure... Real quick. I'm pretty sure you overstacked your chalice as well. As in that you used it twice when you didn't need to. You have a chalice going right now. Sorry, I'm just checking this real quick because I think it's probably a big deal as well. Also, you wouldn't have gotten as poked if you originally got your 1, but you did it for kill potential, so it's really not that crazy. Still not popping pots. Pop 2 there. Okay, so now you have 2 going for a while. 20 seconds, let's see. No, it looks like you just, Oh, you stacked it well. Okay, never mind. The 2 times that you leveled your abilities for kill potential, like on this GUAN, this time you put 2 points in your 2 so you could try and kill him. The fact that you didn't get like a kill off of it was kind of rough just because if you had your 1 here, you'd be sustaining a lot in the lane. Honestly, I would say level your 1 most of the time at level 3 or at level 2, just because it gives you kill potential because it gives you physical power, so it makes your autos hit a little bit harder. And obviously makes your 2 hit a little bit harder, so it might have been the difference in that. Another small thing, this is good because he's just on his blue buff most likely, so you're just clearing the wave, then going to your own blue. He could have been hiding, I do it a lot, you could have been hiding behind the wall here and then just waited for you to dash and then gone on you and maybe killed you. So be on the lookout for that, you don't want to be too carefree. Good of you to get Totem, honestly. A lot of people just would go straight to their blue buff, but I like that you get Totem here. Just because he doesn't have a ton of kill potential when you have your dash up, and worst case, he goes to the Totem and you have to back up. He could go for your blue buff with the pressure that he has, but that really just comes down to your jungler defending it. It's not really exactly your job to just insta-kill it, you know? Just focus on clearing the wave here. Onher's not level 5, the kill potential really isn't there. Onher's here, so you can just 2 this wave, but sometimes I'd even just ult this wave for the pressure, just because it's a 75-second cooldown, but since Onher's here, it's fine. You're just gonna... No! Don't lazy back! That time that he's buying is actually really good. Him forcing you to walk back here and now back is good. There's no kill potential when he has his dash and ult up, but that was... I would have just saved my ult oil. Not only that, but you want to make sure that you don't hit the pillar there with your ult, because you won't get the 3 hits for the stun. What do you mean necrotize? So now he has his ult and you don't have yours. You do have berserkers plus your 1 and chalice, so like there really is no kill potential on you. This is where Amma is really strong. Oh, this is one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is look how much sustain you have. You have berserkers, warrior's blessing, you have your 1. Don't pop a chalice unless you need to, because you're gonna save that chalice and it's gonna allow you to get a lot of pressure if you just keep them for as long as possible. So you didn't need to really pop a chalice here. I guess if you're fighting into him, maybe you can do it, but try and save it for as long as possible. Use your 1 when you can. Nice. You forced his ult, which is good. Only sketchy thing about that is if he got in front of you with it, he was going to kill you. He gets a kill anyway. So yeah, there I would... The weirdest thing about that was... like going into it, you kind of just were fighting him in the wave. One sec. You're fighting him into the wave with your ult down and you knew his ult was up. So once you walked up here... we're using our abilities on him, we used our dash on him, we used our 2 on him, but there's still minions. And this is like kind of what everyone's been doing. Just try and clear the wave first. Your 2's down for a while. Just wait, just back up here. To only walk up to the wave and actually kill it when your 2's up, because you're going to one-shot it. If you just sit here and auto-attack him with his abilities up and yours down, you're going to get out-traded, you know? You're going to have a bad time. And if you are going to pop a chalice, just use it. And then obviously here your dash is down and his abilities are coming back up. You don't want to play up when you don't have a way to clear the wave and your dash is down. So that's a pretty big deal. This should be a good matchup for Amma. Amma should kind of wreck this matchup, and now it's going to be kind of downhill. It's going to be downhill from here. You should never get out-traded when you have berserkers, really, on Amma. Only character that can maybe out-trade you is Achilles, maybe? And even then, it's not really... maybe, oh, actually, maybe Osiris. Maybe Osiris can out-trade her, but... just gotta focus on clearing the wave. Too many times now you've seen it. Good that you got your blue buff at least. This GUAN's gonna be pretty far ahead of you now, though. I don't even know what... did he have full boots, this GUAN? If he had full boots, you just want to play the sustain game. You're gonna win the sustain game if you ever go Glad Shield or Berserkers and the enemy solo doesn't go one of those, you're gonna win the sustain game really hard. So just poke him and back up. You don't want to like all in him, because your strength is the fact that you're going to out-trade him in the long run with your sustain. Whereas his strength is the fact that he has a really nice power spike of 40 power where he can try and all in you with it. So you just got to play to the items that you're building, you know? So he's got basically like a level and a half lead over you, it looks like. Dash is a long cooldown, so his abilities come back up before your dash comes back up. So it's good to have your 2 procced whenever he uses his 3 because you get immunity from it. This might be a kill. Yeah, this is a kill. Well played. Good job. Only sketchy thing about that was that you dashed right away, right here. I'm surprised. You see how buggy that is? This is why I hate Amadesh, especially on high ping. That opportunity right there, if he instantly canceled his ult, you're dead. But because he doesn't instantly cancel your ult, you actually have an opportunity to outplay him. I would have just immediately ulted. You should have just ulted. I wouldn't have never dashed because it's likely that he gets ahead of you like he did. And if he just instantly canceled it, he would have caught it anyway. But because you get your ult off, you barely live, and then you're able to kill him because of it. So that was good though. For what you did, it was good. But I would have just instantly ulted, likely. And again, like the only reason he's able to do that is because he has a bit of a lead on you because of how that first blood win or that first kill. In this matchup, it should be the reverse. You should be the one diving Guan as Amma. Not only because you can silence his 3, but if you go berserkers, you should out trade him really hard. You clear the way quicker than him because you can just 2 it and kind of like walk away, whereas he has to like group it up and 3 and 2 it to really clear it. His ult is down, so he has no kill potential. You're fine here. Just back up. Now you have full boots and you have movement speed in your 1, so I like backing here. I don't think you need to wait for your TP. I would just run straight back. Just run straight back to lane. Cool. Ninja Tabi, which I like as well. Ninja Tabi is really good ammo because you get physical power from your 1, so it makes your autos hit really hard if you have attack speed. Plus, it allows you to apply your passive faster. If you get 3 auto attacks on something, you get a nice damage increase in an aura, so that's good. And then it also makes it so your berserkers you hit more often. And it makes it so you can stack your 2 even quicker. So Ninja Tabi, I think, is probably the way to go on Amma if you're building berserkers. If you're building more like CDR, like say you're going to go breastplate, then go Warrior Tabi. Watch the dash in at the end though. He had used it to get closer to her, to the Amma stuff weed. Okay, so now that we have Ninja Tabi, we should really out trade this Guan. And it shouldn't really be close. And even then, we don't even have to. You're such a annoying god to deal with as Amma, especially at this stage, with your sustain and everything, and your damage, that you could even proxy and make their Hunbath come over and force his ult and things, because you can ult his ult really easily. Be spamming your 1. You want to spam your 1 and spam your auto so you can get berserkers. I'm really interested. I really want to see these people's builds. Like, nobody ever clicks tab, I swear. Nobody ever clicks tab. All these gameplays, I think in total, I click tab. You guys watch me. I click tab non-stop. That's such an important thing. I don't even know what this Guan's build is. I don't even know if you know what the build is, Loyal. When do totems stop becoming priority to get? Basically, whenever they become too hard to kill, where it's like the opportunity cost just isn't there. Because a lot of times, you'd rather just be proxying and getting a lot of pressure up there, and if it takes too long to kill the totem, like say like at 11 minutes, it's like going to take too long, and you have other better things to be doing, like maybe a proxy, maybe a back camp rotation, maybe looking for a blue buff timer, stuff like that. If there's nothing else to do on the map, then you can do it. But if it's an opportunity cost where you're going to lose something else or lose some pressure somewhere, then don't do it. It kind of just comes with experience and trying out rotating into the jungle. So just a few mechanical things where you haven't hit your 2. If you hit them, it would have been a lot more poke on him. Little CC chain. It's actually a big thing on Amma. I think you guys are going to get the kill anyway, but with Amma, her silence is so sick for CC chaining people. If somebody hits a CC, like say you hit an on her stun, like right there, wait to dash until the stun is over so that you can keep them there. So it makes it that much longer before the Guan can ult, and makes it that much longer before he can dash. Just more kill potential, you know? But that's important even in team fights, because part of the Amma's strength is their silence on anybody. You CC chain them with the silence at the end, it's really hard for them to get away. What are you talking about, 4-6? Who's that? I like this. You should be tanking it. If you pop your chalice and spam your 1, you're not going to really take damage from it. Your 2 is really good secure on everything. Your 2 is really good secure on buffs. Your 2 is good secure on objectives. There's a bit of an opportunity cost with doing this, especially since your team didn't rotate. You have a wave there. The enemy blue buff is up. It takes a while for you to do it. Totem's up. They end up rotating after the fact and could have maybe gotten a kill if they played it better. So that's a decision you have to make for yourself. But I would have called that. What I would have done is I would have called that. If none of my carries come right away, I would have gone back to my wave just because the opportunity cost probably isn't there. And if they kill you for it, it's not going to be worth it. Because you're going to have a wave gone. They're going to get their blue buff. All this stuff that you could have gotten, you know. I don't dislike this build. I think if you're going to go into attack speed, you don't really need to go the breastplate. You already have a 75-second cooldown, and most of your damage is going to come through autos, plus like a full combo of your 2-3 ult. Like, that's going to happen in a team fight, and that's where you're going to be really strong. You don't really need CDR for that, so I would actually have gone Void Shield third just to really increase the damage in that ult. That extra pen on their carries would have just been night-night for them, you know? Plus, you don't need the CDR. Like, you're building for the auto attacks. Yeah, that's true, Necrotize, but most of the people told me to mute them because they were in comms and it was bad. I don't want commentary. So next time I do this, if you're if you're sending in a gameplay, just don't talk. So yeah, at this point I like that you guys are kind of ignoring each other. This is where you really should start proxying. I think you'll notice like the higher level you get, the more likely it is that solos start ignoring each other and getting waves. And you can kind of see this right now. You don't really have a ton of kill potential on each other. You both have really easy ways to get out. You both have a decent amount of sustain at this point. And what you really should be doing is making it proxies and then rotations to back camps like you're doing here. Rotations to mid fights if you can, if you have enough pressure through that. The only awkward thing, and you're noticing it right now, is that if you proxy or look for enemy back camps and stuff like that while your own blue buff is coming up, they have a free line to it. You don't know when his blue buff is up because you haven't kept the timer on it. But if he walks into the blue buff right now, he's going to be able to insta-clear it before the honor gets there, and then you're losing out on a blue buff, which is bad because you get more XP for doing your own jungle. So you also have a wave that's like right here right now that's coming that you didn't proxy, so that's a little bit awkward. I would say in general, you don't really need to go for like back camps and stuff when your wave isn't proxied or cleared, because the wave prioritization is so important. Because look what's happening now. You had to defend your own blue, which is actually down. You actually didn't even know that, but because you didn't clear the wave up here or wherever you needed to for pressure, it made it really awkward to defend your blue and get the wave. So always be focusing on the wave prioritization. Okay, do you guys watch Dr. Mike on YouTube? He says chest compressions, chest compressions, chest compressions. For us soul laners, it's waves, waves, waves. That's what I say. Or wave prioritization, but I don't want to say that 3 times fast. So just waves, 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 okay? Always clear your waves before you do things. Wave compression, perhaps. Maybe that could work. Again, you could have had a straight line to proxying, which I would have done. When you can, when in doubt, proxy. That's what I always say. So now you get their back camps again, which is good. This is good. You're denying XP from the jungler, but you could be doing this with your wave proxied, so you don't have to walk all the way back to your own tower to clear it. So not only are you losing a little bit of gold here, but they know where you are on the map right now. They know the only place you can be right now on the map, because they obviously see you at the wave, is at your own tier 1 and then walking into the jungle, do whatever you want. If you proxy the wave, you have 40 seconds where they have no idea where you are on the map. You can rotate to mid. That's what GUAN's doing right now. Since he proxied his wave and he's rotating, Zeus had no idea that he was going to be there, and then it's obviously going to be an impactful rotation. So the more discreet you can be with your rotations, the better. And if you proxy by doing that, then it can help. How many seconds do you get between each wave? 30 seconds. But if you proxy a wave, if you think about it, that's going to take 40 seconds or 45 seconds before that next wave will hit the middle of the lane. Because if the wave is up here, it's going to take 10 seconds for it to get to the middle, then the next one will spawn, and it takes 30 seconds for it to get all the way here. So 30 plus 15 is 45. So every time you proxy, it makes up even more time for yourself. And every time you proxy at Phoenix, it's 60 seconds, basically. So the more you proxy, the better. This is a little bit awkward because, I mean, you're telling your team to retreat, which is good, but the only reason all of this started was because you went for back camps before your wave prioritization. So chat, what do we say? What do we say about wave compressions? Should always be clearing before you do stuff, so. Now again, it could be worse. Like, you could have gone to these back camps and the jungler could have done them. But the fact that you're at least getting them is good. The fact that you got a tier 1 because you couldn't rotate is good. However, none of this would have happened if we proxied and then did the backs. At this point, I really don't mind you staying in lane and just pushing. There's no way you're going to get there in time for that Gold Fury. Maybe if you'd gone earlier, perhaps, but I like that you're pushing waves under tower and getting some pressure on the tier 2. I would try and get their blue buff here. I would try and get their back camps again, because that's the only thing that kind of makes up for the fact that you didn't rotate. I'd be surprised if you got this. You do have your aura max, so your power is actually really good. This is good that you're getting a tier 2. They actually stayed after Gold Fury. It really shouldn't be that bad of a fight for your team, especially if you can back right now and TP to this tier 2. Yeah, you got stopped. I would try and kill this guy. I would have ulted him. You probably had kill potential there if you ulted him and hit your 2. I would have saved my 2. You might still kill him. 2 and then dash. Oh no! Oh no! Just a mechanical thing. I mean, if you hit your 2 there, he was dead. You're fine though. You can outtrade this on bats. You have double physical D, and you have berserkers plus a chalice going, and you can use your 1 to trade. Only thing is, if his ult's coming back up from that fight, he may kill you, but you can always dash out. Unfortunate. Dash was still down. The only reason that it was close is because you have 3k gold in hand, or in your pocket, that you haven't spent, so you haven't bought your power spike. If you had breastplate, or if you wanted to go void shield there, you would have been chilling. Although you wouldn't have gotten the tier 2 if you had done that, but... in general, when you have TP up, the whole point of TP is to get your power spikes right away. So you were sitting on a lot of gold there with your TP being up. I would have probably backed sooner and gotten my power spike sooner. You know? That's the whole point of TP. That's why TP is so strong. That's why TP is good even when you... Like, people say, well, why would I go TP? If I get an early first blood, I can allow rotations earlier and stuff like that. But really, the truth of the matter is, if you go TP and you get ahead, it makes it even that much easier to buy your power spikes and be in lane and keep stomping, you know? So... people like to quickly blame sensitivity, but sensitivity really isn't the end-all be-all. It's whatever you're used to be honest. Like Max Panda Cat, best ADC in the world, and he plays on really high sensitivity. Like really high. He plays on like 3200. You know? Now, not everybody can play on that, but the point is, like... you shouldn't be blaming sensitivity right away. Oh no! Want to make sure that you hit all 3 hits of that, of course. Unfortunate. That really just comes down to not hitting your ult. When you look at their team comp, what you're building, you already have 2 physical defense items. You should definitely be going Runic Shield 4th, just because you need to be able to deal with their magical damage a bit. Especially as Ama, you're going to be going on her. Let's see how hard she hit you. Look how hard she hit you for. You got to think about your build and like what you're going to be doing in the team fight. Who are you going to be diving? Hu Yi, yes, you're going to be diving him, but he has his jump to get away from you. So does Persephone. But both of those, you're going to be diving both of them, right? If you already have 3 physical defense items, or I guess 2, but, you know, whatever. You have enough physical defense. You should be going something to deal with this Persephone. Whether it's like a hybrid item, like Urchin or Spirit Robe or something, or it's just straight up Runic Shield, which is OP right now, which you should probably go. Just think about that. Think about why you're building the things you're building. I wouldn't have minded a Void Shield 3rd item into a Runic Shield, or into like a Genji's or something. Because then you have a nice blend, and you're actually able to deal with their Persephone damage. But once you rotate it over to a fight, and their magical was a part of it, and you had no defense for it, you got one shot as you... oh. Plus Persephone's kind of B-rogue, so you want to build defense for her. So you guys both died, you and the GUAN. YouTube always does this so slow, man. Get over to your lane, TP, 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 TP. Oh wait, your TP's down, my bad. That's on me. The 3-man pushing it. You guys are down only 3k, so it's really not the end of the world. You guys end up winning this? Lost. So even though you're 18 minutes into the game, wave prioritization is still important. You still want to make sure that you get that farm, The quicker you get that farm, the better, so you can get more items to be able to tank or do whatever you need to in a fight. No, I am using arrow keys. Well. Understand the build choice versus 4 physical? Not really, because I mean, it's not the end of the world. But even if it's 4 physical, they're it's not like their mage is going to hit any less hard, especially if it's like a Persephone. Now, if it was like a Janus or like a Ra or something like that that doesn't do a ton of damage to tanks, you could make an argument for delaying your magical defense. But when it's a Persephone who literally one-shots people, you need to make sure that you build defense for it. And the argument's even easier when an item like Runic Shield exists, which gives you just all the stats you want. 200 health, 35 physical power, 50 magical reduction, plus 50 magical pride, like, and it's only 2150 gold. Like, it's just the clear choice here, especially against a mage like Persephone. Just a lot of just randomness to this right now. Team's getting dove pretty hard. I mean, at this point, like, what could you have done to like be impactful here? Not really anything. Your team's kind of just getting owned a bit. Your wave is pushed at your own tier 2, so I'd like to see that pushed out. So this is interesting. You want to go on this Persephone, obviously, because she's kind of out of position. But you don't even have an item for her, really. Your team's not following you up on this, so you can't really solo tank her, but they're kind of just running away, so that's good for you. You forced her ult at least. Unbats is split pushing your wave because these waves haven't been pushed up really far. He kind of made some rotations that, without wave prioritization, he might be able to get a tier 2 now, which is bad because the game is close. Only down 2k. If he gets a tier 2, they're gonna be up 4k almost. Yeah, this is good. Try and save your 2 for the Aegis. Oh, unfortunate. Guan's 1 HP. You actually got him. You know Persephone ult is down, so it's good for you to chase her. I like how you played that fight. You went on their He. That's exactly what you need to do. Save your dash for her escape. Nice. I think if you hit a couple autos, I think you misplayed just a little bit mechanically. Hit a couple autos, she'd be dead before this, but you guys get the kill anyway. Umbats finally makes its rotation here, but you have a lot of physical defense. You don't have to worry too much. The thing is, he is level 20, so he definitely can kill you. But you don't have to like immediately panic. Like, you're playing this fine. I wouldn't dash in. He does a lot of damage. He's level 20. I think your ult's coming back up, but his jump is still up, so a little bit ambitious. I don't hate it, but just the fact that he's level 20 and there's a lot of like more important stuff to be doing right now. A lot of farm up on the map. I would have just ignored him after that and gotten away. But because you did stack physical defense, I at least like the fact that you're playing to your build there. And make sure you're playing to the builds always. Okay, let's see here. So I haven't pushed a solo wave in a while, so we're still level 18 at 22 minutes. Hopefully, if this was me, I'd probably be level 20 at this point, just because I probably would have prioritized the wave pressure a little bit more, getting some farm. Your teammate's killing himself at the enemy back camp, so that's not good. You don't really want to follow up one mistake with another mistake, so you just need to get out of there, especially with your ult down. Make sure that you're ready for gold, and you can deny them it if they go for it. Baiting pretty well for your Zeus here, but I think he's gonna end up just getting himself killed. They did use GUAN ult on you, which is good. The longer you can stall this, the better, because you don't want them to be able to get a free gold while they have a pick. At least the solo wave is pushing in your favor. That's good. I would have liked to have used my TP here and like gone down something else, pushed out a mid wave, pushed out like a right wave originally, but you know, since you already are rotated here, you want to make sure that you stay here. Whenever somebody has their dash up, you don't want to ults. It's unless you're trying to force their dash for your jungler, but your team's really far away. If you're really trying to kill this Persephone, you need to save your abilities so that you can ult her after her dash is down. I think you're fine. You should be able to get out. Up. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 2, 2, 2. 2 for damagement and 1 obviously for the heal. This is just a really weird fight. It mainly comes from the on her killing himself, but You also went in when you didn't need to. You should have just waited and then waited for your ult and then played off of that and been really aggro. That Persephone is Phantom. You guys are winning this fight really hard because they dove really hard. That's good. I'd be calling Fire Giant right now. You guys kill that GUAN. You have 30 seconds. Go fire, go fire, go fire, go fire. Say attack Fire Giant. No, go Fire Giant. Go fire. A small thing with like calls is towers are good to get if you're like already next to them, but when you get a wipe like this, just go straight to fire. The quicker you kill that, the better, because if you have fire with all these waves pushed up and you reset and you come back really strong with a Fire Giant, it's going to be just as easy for you to get that tier 2, you know? Plus you can go to gold. If they fight there, then it should be a good fight because you have fire. I want to try and get that off the map as soon as possible. Waves, 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 exactly. Those are important. No way you'll be able to get this with Hunbats up. Oh, especially if you tank. Don't tank it. Hunbats can CC chain you in the tower. Or at least force your ult. Oh, if you hadn't been tanking this entire time, I actually wouldn't have minded it as much. Now they force your ult with Persephone, then Hunbats maybe can ult you after. I think you're good. Oh, they both ulted. Nice. Wasn't too bad. I wouldn't have been that ambitious though, Loyal, just because gold and these 2 towers are up. I would get the Fire Giant, reset with our power spike, make sure we get all our items, go back to gold, push up the waves, and then go for the towers. You don't have to worry. Like, you're never going to get that Phoenix, and there was a slight chance that they killed you if they CC chained you better, but I would have, yeah, I would have just done that. Or you could have gotten the tier 2, since it would have been longer for them to get there. They can get to their Phoenix a lot quicker. And plus you had a wave in mid, so. An Ancile? I don't know if I like Ancile too much. I don't know if it's too good against Persephone. I guess if she hits you, it might interrupt a lot of these other abilities, which is nice, so I think it maybe is good in that regard. But I probably would have just gone Runic Shield just because Runic Shield's so OP and it makes you so tanky. I like that you went and cleared at least one of your waves. You guys want to make sure you get your waves pushed up so you can actually go for tier 2s and such. Oh, that was really good. Really well played. I like that. Now her dash is down. Now you can do a ton of damage to her. Just keep going on her. Keep autoing her. Nice. That's her Aegis. You can still kill her. Oh, unfortunate. If you hit that, maybe get an auto off and a Thorns off, then she's probably dead. If she keeps playing up, you can kill her. Oh, no! The more you auto-attack in trades, the better, just because you have Berserkers, right? So it's going to help you sustain even more. And even though Berserkers falls off towards the late game and the team fights and stuff, it's still going to heal you for a decent amount because it's based off your maximum health. You're still going to be healing for like 30 in auto or 25. That's pretty good, you know? Could be the difference in surviving or not. Maybe not 30, but like 20 probably. You ever get Berserker anymore? Yes, you definitely get Berserker on Ama. You only send in losses for coaching? No, just any game that you have trouble with that we can learn from and talk about. Definitely don't want to send in stomps though, where you just kill everyone. I don't want to watch you destroy people. Not much to learn from there. Also, the entire time you were diving at Persephone, although I like the fact that you went Ancile just because it kind of makes sense to silence all these other abilities. If you had Runic Shield there, it wouldn't have been that close. It would have been kind of a stomp. You probably would have just 1v1'd her even easier. So something to think about. Yo, Hindu, thanks, man. I appreciate it, buddy. That was a mix of bro and buddy. I'm going with buddy. Okay, we're getting a little spicy with our build. Atalanta's, I like it. I like it. It's a spicy item. I think stone cutting is probably a little bit better. If you really wanted to go a damage item, but notice that like Fire Giant has been taken and a lot of these waves haven't really been prioritized. All about the waves, boys. You need to make sure that you get those push up, especially if you have Fire Giants, so you can actually go for towers and maybe Phoenixes. Also, you have a TP, so you could have upgraded that and then been at fights if you needed to. That was weird. But notice that you guys win a fight, and look at the waves. The only waves that you actually have pushed up a little bit is kind of mid and maybe now solo because it randomly stacked really well. But you're in dueling, and this wave is all the way over here. You have 2 picks. If you had this wave pushed up, you'd be able to get this Phoenix. So waves, waves, waves. Nice. Okay, this is much better than what happened before. So now you actually save her ult for her dash. So now once she dashes, you can actually have kill potential. Sometimes, again, sometimes you can use your ult to force their jump. Like sometimes that's worth it, especially if you're on the same page as your jungler. If you force their jump or whatever with your ultimate and then your jungler gets to go on them, then dude, that's a free kill. And you did everything you needed to do. Your job was to force their escape, force their actives, and you did that. So right there, it was just the opposite. You're able to force or jump without having to ult. Good. I like that you guys are prioritizing the mid Phoenix, considering that was the only lane you had wave pressure in, but depending on how it goes, it's good. This is what I'm talking about, though. Ama is so broken. You just need to auto-attack people down. That's why I love this build so much. You don't even need the breastplate. If you just go auto-attack build, you literally chunk people with your autos. That was a little, bit psycho, but you guys got the Phoenix and killed him, so it's really not a big of a deal. Ended up being good, especially since you didn't have a Fire Giant. Getting a Phoenix and kills without having a Fire Giant, that's pretty worth. Except your On Her kind of killed himself. Is it On Her jungle? Yeah, it was On Her jungle. I almost forgot. Let's see here. This is pointless fighting right here. Your teammates should back up. Go. All right, what's the first thing you do when you come out of base? Nice, you go to the wave that's furthest pushed up. You need to push this out. What I would have done is, I don't know if you bought anything. Did you buy anything? Yeah, you bought a full spirit robe for berserkers. I probably wouldn't have done that. I probably would have upgraded my TP, and then I would have permanently pushed this out. Push this out really far, gotten wards around fire, say Ward of the Fire Giant, let your team know through VGS. If you're in communication with them, like voice comms, then you can tell them through that. But worst case scenario, all you have to do is ward VGS to your team, tell them to ward. Say place a ward for teleport if you have to. Have your TP upgraded, and that makes it so they have to have somebody come defend this, push it out, and then you can just TP over and force a power play on the rest of the map, you know? This Teamfight is where I failed to see my objective. Okay, let's see here. Well, first and foremost, I think making it easier would have been upgrading your TP, Loyal. Being able to push this out and then come over. Okay. At first, I like that you were thinking about peeling for your On Her, but it looked like the GUAN wasn't really sure on whether he wanted to go on him, so going on the Sui is good. I don't know if... Did you know his jump was down? If you did, that was really good ult. Force his actives, which is good. You can actually kill him here if you... Nice! See, this is what I was talking about with Alma Silence. You can easily get kills with it that people aren't expecting because you CC chain them and before they can use their escape or before they can get out of a combo. Alright. Little odd thing, not the biggest of deals, but if you had Berserkers here, you wouldn't have been just because you would have gotten a lot of autos off, which would have returned mana on you. For you. So now that you're out of mana, it's kind of awkward. I really wish you had a blue buff here, or at least kept your Berserkers for a little bit. Okay, so with Ama on objectives, this is specifically for Ama, but this can kind of be the same for some other characters. But for Ama, you want to get your passive on it, which is your 3 autos to increase the damage being done to it. And then when you're a soul laner, you want to make sure that you're zoning out people that are trying to steal it. So they don't have anybody here. You see both of them on the map, so you don't need to zone anybody. It was a little bit late to have been able to tell. Erling just showed up, so it might have been worth for you to just look around for him. But DPSing it is, still pretty fine. Plus, Alma's really good for securing not only because of her 2, because of her ult, which she can just start ulting the Fire Giant and stun anybody that comes in. But right when it gets really low, let's say it's like 800 health, 1k health, if somebody walks in, you can dash them and silence them, and then they don't have an ability to steal it with. So she has a lot of weight. She's just really good around objectives. And then she also does increased damage with her 1, so whenever you pull objective and you're actually DPSing it, make sure you're in power stance. So not only your passive, but your power from your 1 is going to be increasing damage. That's why part of the reason she's so good around objectives. It might have been worth to upgrade your Thorns there. Just waited a little bit longer, or a solo ward. I would have liked to have my TP upgraded way before this, You don't really need to upgrade it now because you can always back if you get really low and then just upgrade it. So mid is going to push on its own. You don't really have to worry about that much. Right is pushing really hard. You don't have to worry about that. Going to do is the right play. It's also the farthest away from Fire Giant. People kind of get a boner for like pushing the wave or pushing the lane that's farthest away from Fire Giant. It's not always the best thing to do, but definitely right here where the waves are already pushing pretty well for you guys in the other lanes. It's definitely good. Yo, Fat Slop, thanks for gifting us up to Necrotize. I appreciate it, man. Welcome to the Fonzo family, Necrotize. Okay. So you mean this, Loyal, you're talking about this fight you didn't know what to do? Or was it that last fight? Because there really wasn't a fight. You guys kind of just got fire. I like the idea there, trying to CC chain that Erling with your silence. So starting off a bit strong. So right here, they've already committed a lot. They Erling ulted. You guys Xing ulted, but that's not that big of a deal. They Hui ulted. You have a on her in mid who's pushing the Phoenix. This is honestly really good. You just need to heal up with your one and just chill a little bit. They've used a lot. You still have your Thorns up. Let the wave tank for as long as possible, just because the less Phoenix shots you take, the better. Because it ramps up, so the later you start taking them, the better. Just mathematically. Missing some abilities here. I mean... So far, I mean, honestly, it wasn't that bad what you did. It seemed like your team kind of... Let me go back a sec. I wonder if your carries had actives up. Zington ults. Your carries play back. They're both full health. You walk in. First things first, make sure you don't take the Phoenix right away. You're already a little bit poked. You force the Hui jump. You have your 2 going. Persephone's in mid. It looks like you're going to get a mid Phoenix. Okay, he got it, but he died for it. Okay, so first things first. In the middle of this fight, you should notice that... I don't know if you can tell this most of the time, but you should be able to tell in the middle of a fight who's killing who. Or at least if your team is dying. So you notice that Honor is already dead. So this is going to be a 4v5 at best once the Persephone comes here. You kind of dash in and miss your 2. So right there, you forced a Hui jump, but you didn't get anything off of it. He literally walked past you and started going on your teammates anyway. So that was part of that was your fault, but it also looks like your team's just getting destroyed anyway. Yeah, Zeus got gone on and he got kind of owned. But you didn't really zone out the Hui as much as you should have, right? And then again, look how much... I want to know how much damage he took from Phoenix there, because you started tanking it way too early. You should have just let the minions tank it for a second. And then you also... You reset it, but then you grabbed it again because you went on the Hui. I would have just stayed on the Hui the whole time and popped my Thorns. So, one last time. It looked like you recognized your role in this fight. Your role was to zone out this Hui, right? But once you go in, you force a jump right here. You see that he jumped right there? I'm immediately dashing onto him, Thornsing and ulting. Let's just right away pull the trigger. You kind of do an in-between here where you dash like 2 seconds later, then you miss your 2, you're still taking the Phoenix, Her dies in mid, they go on your backline, and you're so focused on resetting the Phoenix because you took so much damage from it that you end up spacing yourself really far away from the rest of your team. So right there, just pull the trigger, go on the Hui right away, right after you force his jump dash on him. And also you Thorns at the end of the fight. Do you even Thorns? You even make use of your Thorns. Not very good in that regard. You probably would have died if you just immediately dashed on that Hui and ulted him. You probably would have died because you would have been taking Phoenix, but you possibly could have killed him or at least kept some of their people away from your team. But it really just seems like that your carries played it wrong, or maybe didn't have their actives up and just got one shot because of it. So that's just kind of unfortunate. I think you guys pulled the trigger at the right time. You went to the Phoenix as your on her was going on the mid Phoenix, forced them to make a decision, but you personally just made a few misplays, I think. Yeah, it's true, JP. Yeah, he tanks Phoenix shots for like 4 hits when he didn't even hit anyone. The minions were just in there, it would have been fine. In general as well, it's better for your support. Let your support tank the Phoenix shots, because one, he's building a little bit tankier than you are, because he's building mostly tank items. Sometimes you're building bruiser items or full damage items. And 2, he can immediately reset it because he's going to be near his carries who aren't going to be in the Phoenix, right? They're going to be back. So he's going to come back and peel for them. So he can immediately reset it a lot better than you can. If you're under the Phoenix, you don't really want to dash to their side of the Phoenix or come back to your own side to reset it. You want to be in the middle of it all and really be going on their carries. So yeah, for now, Fat Slob, but I think I mean, I can probably coach other roles at least a little bit. This is good, going on characters you need to go on. I probably would have Thorns. Thornsing during a silence is really good because their only option is to auto attack. So, you know, it just makes sense that you'll get more damage off. I like that you're peeling back here. You're kind of already winning the fight and you kind of want to keep your carries alive. Plus, that Huey was doing a ton of damage to you, so you're kind of in the middle of it all. I don't really think you're playing these fights that bad. I think maybe your team's just misplaying, to be honest. Like, you immediately went on that Huey, which I liked. I probably would have liked to see you Thorns first, but peeling back really isn't that bad here. I maybe would be looking more for their carries. Once you get poked in a fight and it really feels like you can't go on their carries, then it's fine for you to try and peel a little bit and try and get a kill on their front line in the middle of a fight. But I think what this comes down to is your build as well. You have no health. You literally have only Void Shield health, which is 150. And you have 2 full damage items, so they're actually going to trade really well into you at this stage in the game. In the mid-game, you might be a monster. But now that this Huey's level 20, this Persephone's level 20, they probably are pretty much full build. I would like to see a bit tankier of a build. Honestly, I think you need more tank items. Runic Shield instead of Ansile for 1. Probably would not have gone Brawlers. Probably would have gone maybe Thebes there and start stacking that up with the waves being pushed. Or like, honestly, that team comp's a little bit weird. But probably, I could have even gone an Urchin there. Urchin wouldn't be bad. You could have honestly even sold Brawlers and Atalantas and gone one of each defense, like a Nemean plus like a Bulwark or something. I think that's part of the reason that felt so weird. You went on their backline. It was like, I think your thought process was you went on their backline and you were like getting one shot and you're like, oh shit, I need to back up and peel for my front, or peel to kill their front line. But I'm pretty sure if you had a better build as far as defense, that you would never have felt like that because you wouldn't have taken so much damage from the Huey. You would have been like, okay, I can keep diving them, keep using my Thorns. So remember, Thorns is unmitigated damage, so the more tank items you have, the better, because obviously you're going to be taking less damage and doing the equivalent amount of damage as if you had no tank items, you know, with your Thorns. So honestly, I mean, maybe you could say like you felt like you needed damage maybe because your team is playing poorly, but your job really isn't to do damage most of the time. And most of the time, the tankier you are and the more you survive in a fight, the more damage you're going to end up doing. You know what I mean? Tank items make it so you can actually end up doing more damage just because you can survive to the fight more. Plus, you have 3 like ranged carries. You have Anhur, Uller, Zeus. Like, that's plenty of damage. Unless they are playing blind and start face smashing their keyboard and can't hit anything. Johnny, thanks for the 2 years, man. Appreciate it very much. Welcome back to the Fonzo family. That's unfortunate, Brent. I'm sorry. I mean, with Amma especially, Loyal, if you build like 2 hybrid items, so you have Void Shield Runic, which you pretty much have. You have Ansile Void Shield, which is, you know, that's still a good amount of damage. If you go tank items in the rest of your build, and you dive the enemy backline in Thorns, you have plenty of damage to actually kill them. You'll kill them 100%. You get 3 autos off, you hit the silence on them after they dash, you get your ult off, and you hit them with your 2. You'll kill them 100% of the time. Yeah, I mean, at that point, they have 2 Phoenixes down basically, and they get 1 Phoenix up. Once somebody gets picked, it's going to be really hard for you to do anything, and obviously if you try and peel for him, it'll be even worse. So don't follow up one mistake with another mistake. I would just keep sticking around my team. The majority of my team, not the guy who's just running away. What up, Ivy the Dead? Nah, you guys probably just the game off of it, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I mean their late game is pretty good to be honest. Like their carries are better than your carries in my opinion. Hughie's better than Zeus, or better than Uller and Anhur. Persephone's better than it's probably close. Persephone is probably a little bit better than Zeus though late game. Hunbats is definitely better than Anhur jungle late game. I would say Alma's probably better than Guan. Jingten or Lang Jingten's probably better, but for the most part their late game comp is a little bit better. So when you teach that left Phoenix, the fact that you lost it was going to be pretty rough regardless. And I think having a better build would have been good, and just a couple mechanically misplayed fights that would have maybe helped you win the game, especially that left Phoenix. But we've already talked about that a bunch. So I think what my build would have been exactly would have been Berserkers, Ninja Tabi. I wouldn't have gone Void or Breastplate here. I would have gone Void Shield. Then I would have gone Shogun's Fourth because that gives me MP5 attack speed, which I want, and it also helps out my teammates attack faster around objectives, which is exactly what Alma's good at. And then I probably would have gone Urchin. So Urchin 5th. I have a lot of prots that way. I could have also gone Runic Shield 4th, either or. Shogun's Runic, they both do help you do a lot of damage. Probably freaking Shogun's this game. Sorry, but it could have been Runic Shield. I probably would have gone the other one after though. If that makes sense. Maybe. Actually, there are 4 Fizz. Then okay. Restart. Berserkers, Ninja Tabi, Void Shield, Runic Shield, then Urchin, and then probably Mantle or something. That would probably make me the most tanky. There's a decent amount of health in that build because I get Runic Shield and Void Shield to give me health. And then I would have sold my Berserkers probably for like maybe a damage item, even like Stone Cutting, or Atalanta's is fine. I don't really think Brawlers is that good on Amma. You don't really need to go that, especially if you're going a more auto attack build. Do something that will help you increase your auto attack damage. Because even in late game fights, you're going to be auto attacking a lot on Amma. And then I probably would have sold boots for, whatever. Probably another health item, probably like Bulwark or Midgardian or something. Probably not Midgardian because Midgardian's kind of trash. Maybe like Gauntlet of Thieves. Thieves is decent late game because there's a lot of ways being killed near you. So